And so what? I pee on it and then I just put the cap on, right? And then I just let
Yep.
it.
And then you just let it
Right. And
marinate.
you'll see like your pee like rolling through.
Oh my God, my hands are shaking.
Oh,
I do not, for the record, think I am,
But your
but
boobs hurt.
all the things are happening. Uh,
What did it say?
It would be ready?
yeah, it should be ready.
It should
Oh,
be sure.
okay. I'm not pregnant.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank God. Imagine if I found out I was pregnant right before I go to fucking the Super Bowl.
Before we go to New Orleans to
Yeah.
have the most fun in life.
Ew, it's
But
like
there,
steamy.
but
I
there you
know.
might, but there you might get pregnant for sure.
Hey, yo. Hold on, I gotta text Zach because Zach's on a Southwest air plane just losing his mind.
Every man on Southwest is having a pregnancy scare right now.
Okay, hello everybody, welcome to Sports Bitches. It is Super Bowl week. We are fired up. Did we take a pregnancy test before we started recording? Yes, we did. And I'm not pregnant, thank the Lord.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Not trying, wasn't expecting, not feeling well this week. I think I'm fighting neurovirus. Okay.
Oh.
So much happened this past weekend, but before we get into like the craziest trade of all time, we went to Cosm in Los Angeles to watch USC take on the Iowa Hawkeyes. Caitlin Clark's jersey retirement. I was crying. Another reason maybe I thought I was pregnant. It was so cool. I really
Very
enjoyed
cool.
it. What did you guys think?
Unbelievable. I mean, I think just the atmosphere of the Cosm was good. The food was really good. It's free parking. It's like it's
Okay,
just
I
a
didn't
next.
park in the right lot, so I did pay for parking.
Well,
Hmm,
you didn't follow the instructions on the
I
email.
didn't. You're right.
It led you right to the Google Maps place.
Mm.
And I don't think you were the only one because that parking lot was pretty empty, but the Cosm was pretty full for that game. Lots
It
of
was
USC fans.
absolutely packed. I was really impressed with how many people came out. Like, it was a really fun atmosphere. Everyone was drinking
Yeah.
Bloody
Yeah.
Marys and having their little morning mimosa. It was great.
I'm
Mhm.
so listen, we love Juju Watkins. I am going to a USC UCLA game next week. She is the future. It was really cool to see the Iowa Hawkeyes take down the number 4 USC Trojans in Iowa in front
Yes.
of Caitlin on the day of her jersey retirement. Number 22 is in the rafters. Coincidentally enough, Asia Wilson's jersey was also retired at South Carolina, also number 22.
Mm.
And her Nike sneaker was just revealed, and it is like 50 shades of pink. It is
Oh.
what the Barbie shoe should have been. And so we're doing our sports bitches of the week up top. Caitlin Clark, Asia Wilson, massive, just like emotional weekend, I think, for women's college basketball when like men's college basketball is in sort of this like weird rut of a place to
Mm.
see these two stars who have really changed. I mean, like Rachel, you were crying, but it's like Caitlin Clark changed women's sports globally.
Which is what I was gonna say, that I was like tearing up as they were, as you could just like see how proud her family was and
Yeah.
her coaches and stuff like that. And I turned to Megan and I was like, I'm crying. And then Megan looked at me and she goes, she changed the world.
Well, and her family, like they are so proud, but they're also so like Midwestern where they're just like, like
Yeah.
they don't.
Yeah.
My family, we would all be like on the ground. My brothers, one would be mad at us. There would be like emotion on our faces, and the
Right.
Yeah.
Clarks are just like, we're taking a Christmas card right now.
They're
Yeah.
like, we gotta hurry up because I'm gonna appreciate the ceremony, but we have a 12:30 reservation at
Yeah.
Applebee's, so we gotta.
And
We
we
want to be
can't
late
miss
for that. We
that.
cannot be missed. We cannot.
But all of Conrad, Cage, CJ, Chris were there. Zach was at the Pro Bowl catching.
Okay. Zach
Eddie,
had the
Eddie and
greatest.
Jada.
Eddie and Jada were there.
Yep. Yep. Real quick, my husband had the greatest weekend of his life. Did I tell you guys he also sat next to AJ from the Backstreet Boys on the way home?
Yes, who is a
Problematic?
celebrity crush of mine who
Oh.
I was not into, but then when I met them in person, AJ came up to me and he goes, I'm going to tell my daughter I met Ariel from The Little Mermaid. And I was like, I'll throw it all away for you. What do you want? I'll leave it all behind.
No, Zach met the Costco guys, the dude, whatever. He got to swim in a pool with Baker Mayfield and all the Bucks who
Wow.
were frolicking. Okay.
Is he pregnant? Did he get pregnant?
Maybe. Oh my gosh, you just seem to have the best weekend. The Pro Bowl? I want to go. Never been.
Oh
Want to go.
yeah.
I have been. I did not have the best time. And I just remember seeing Jets fans there. Now, granted, when I went, it was pouring rain, freezing in Orlando. And it was the first year that it was in Orlando and not Hawaii. And I was like, I cannot believe this is happening to me. And then you just like see the fans and you're like, Jets fans traveling to Orlando for the Pro Bowl. This feels like your last trip before you go to jail. Like, why? What are you doing here, honey? What are we doing here? But if we all went and got to frolic with Baker Mayfield and Mike Evans, that'd be a totally different situation.
Yeah, and they got to go to the Universal Studios and it was like completely shut down for all the players and their family and friends. Unlimited drinks, unlimited food, unlimited rides on the Harry Potter ride. Zach said he saw Jared Goff running up into a bush. Gorgeous weekend. Gorgeous weekend.
Okay. So I was thinking about this, and now I have this new show over at Whistle Sports with CJ, and you guys should go watch that because there I'm talking about the stuff I'm not talking about here. So you're getting the X-rated here, and there you're getting like the we're parents and we blah, blah. Okay. So when I went to it, there were two massive like charter buses that pulled up, you know. One was taking all the wives and kids to Disney World, and one was taking all the dads to the strip club.
Oh my.
No shot. Actually?
Yeah, and I'm sure some
In
of the
the
dads were
morning?
like, no, it was at nighttime. Like it was like, oh, we're going to downtown Disney. And they were like, we're going to the Orlando Gentlemen's Club.
Wow.
Honestly, I'm totally fine with that because I don't like a dad downer at Disney. Like when you would rather be somewhere else. And it's also your weekend. You've worked hard all year. Like you should go do your thing.
Yeah.
We happen to be here. Everything's paid for. We're gonna take the kids to Disney. You
CJ
go
would
have your guy
rather
time.
CJ would rather be at Disney than a strip club.
Some guys would.
Yeah, when I see those dads at Disney that are like most expensive weekend ever, it's like, you know, your wife works. She is wearing a fun shirt. Why are you being such a I'm counting pennies shirt
I
wearer?
also can't stand it when they're like, "Oh, I'm so sick of carrying these toys around or this stuffy around." I'm like, "You carry golf clubs for 4 hours through 18 holes. Like,
That
don't
is
even act
such
like
a good point.
this is so difficult."
But you know what? One of my favorite follows is Dilfs of Disneyland.
Oh,
and
of
it's just
course. Yes.
hot dads at Disney with like tatted legs that are having good times, like carrying, you know, like a Belle stuffy. Okay,
I
guys,
saw a dad at Disneyland once dressed as Prince Charming, and his daughter was Cinderella. And it was
That is
so
really
cute. They
sweet.
took so many cute pictures together after she left the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique.
that is cute. In that they are married, but
No, I think it was a gay. I think it was actually a gay dad with,
gunkle?
like, an
Oh,
adopted.
okay.
Can
adopted
adults go to the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique?
no.
I think so.
My niece
What if
went
it's their
and it was
birthday?
yeah, I think it depends. Like those Jets fans that I was talking about, I would call them touched by an angel. And I think if you're touched by an angel as an adult, you can go to the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
I am still pregnant. And my baby is what this app is calling a sporting item this week. This is a stretch.
Okay.
This is a stretch.
I like that. Tip.
I would call this, I'm going to give you a hint. I would call this an everyday item.
Okay, so we had a shuttlecock, we had a softball. What was last week's?
It was like one of those
weird.
small bowling balls,
Bowling balls.
but a
An
small one.
everyday item that's bigger
Or
than
like
a small.
a bocce ball.
Yeah, it was like a bocce ball.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying a bocce ball is an everyday item.
Yeah, everyday bocce.
A frisbee golf no,
An
that's not an everyday item.
everyday item that could be in the sports world.
Everyday
A,
item.
a dog to like no.
Everyday
I don't
item.
know.
A whistle.
My baby is currently a stick of deodorant.
What's going on? What's going on?
Like I was like, oh, I wonder what the baby is. Stick of deodorant.
Wow. See, Rachel, aren't you glad that you found out before this podcast that you do not have a stick of deodorant inside your belly?
I love this app. This app is so much more fun than it's like, oh my God, it's a little melon.
I know that well, but and you can do it that, but I was like, nope, I want stick of deodorant growth updates.
Speaking of deodorant sticks, let's talk about sports.
Yes, Rachel, you're gonna be in New Orleans all
Yes.
weekend.
Yes.
Push those tickets. Sports Drink is so fun. I performed there. I like love them. Andrew is such a good guy. Like
Yeah.
you're giving your money to like a really fun, cool space. So go if you're down there for the Super Bowl.
Yes, we have live pods. We have a bunch of comedy shows, really great headliners. I'm going to be there every single night. And there's a frozen espresso martini machine, which I'm really
Yes.
excited about.
And it is delicious.
Mhm.
And then for all my Commanders fans or DC folks that need some laughs, because boy, do LA and DC deserve a break more than anyone right now.
Wow.
I'm going to be at the Kennedy Center on Saturday, shows at 7 and 9:30. And if you want me to do 10 minutes on Dan Quinn and Jane Daniels, I'll do it. I've got it ready to go.
Your stuff on Friday was so good. I'm really excited for people in
Thank
DC.
you.
Go and see Megan. Okay.
I
The
will
biggest.
not be there. I will
Oh
just
yeah,
be-
No.
where are you gonna be, Sarah?
I'm gonna have my feet up after surgery.
You're gonna have those new boo-balloonies.
Yes.
She's getting those hoots booted.
The biggest trade in ever. Everyone was losing their minds. Megan, you are our NBA expert, so you give us the down low on what the hell happened this weekend.
Thank you. I am the poor man's Taylor Rooks. A blockbuster trade came in Saturday night, broke the internet. The Dallas Mavericks traded Luka Doncic, Max Kleber, and Markieff Morris, one half of the Morris brothers, to the Lakers for Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a 2029 first-round pick. It was leaving people. The number one response was Shams hacked? No one could believe this. CJ came down, told me and our book club friend Mara, who were watching a Bravo made-up award show. He was like, the craziest thing just happened. And we were like, okay. And we did not give him the reaction he deserved. I texted you guys and I was like, CJ's not a reliable source, but this is what he said happened. It turned out to be real. Some of the reactions out of the NBA, Mavs GM Nico Harrison, he said, I believe that defense wins championship. I believe that getting an all defensive center and an all NBA player with a defensive mindset gives us a better chance. We're built to win now and in the future. Anthony Davis immediately waived his trade kicker, which means the Dallas Mavericks do not have to pay him additional money, which immediately helps their cap situation to make more moves if they want. Reactions around the NBA, CJ McCollum said, gotta pack them bags just in case nowadays. If the Don got traded, only Lord knows. Poet laureate Tristan Thompson said, Luka getting traded from Dallas has to have a deeper story behind it. This just doesn't happen on a random Saturday night. Bitches, what were your reactions?
Well, Zach had texted me, and then I was just like, okay, wow. And then we were all texting, and then Sarah was just like, Zach and Chris are on the phone together right now. And I was like, that's funny because I've been trying to call him and he's not answering. So
I was like, Patch and CJ, Patch.
I'm like, Patch and CJ.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I don't know. He was losing his mind in Orlando, having the greatest weekend of his damn life.
I don't think I've ever been more shocked by a trade. I think the cloak of darkness was really impressive that no one knew about it. I mean, and everybody, as soon as it happened, I'm like, oh, LeBron did all
Must
of
have
this,
known.
right? And then the more I'm hearing about it, the more I go, oh, I don't think that he did, because his manager, Chris Paul, also represents Davis. So he couldn't have told, they couldn't have told LeBron, because LeBron would have immediately told Anthony Davis. And then, you know, I think it also protects LeBron to not know, since they were, you know, our
close and friends and teammates and
but
partners.
I think that what it does for me is it, you know, Luka's only 25, and it's really setting up the Lakers to have another star as their forefront, because even though the NBA is like an incredible league and a sports franchise, it's a TV show, and you have to sell tickets, and you have to have stars. And Anthony Davis doesn't sell as many tickets as Luka Doncic. So you got to have that big Slovenian front man with his husky dad bod. Like,
Zach
I love all of it.
Z and I were talking last night. What if, okay, picture this. If Woj never retired and this got leaked somehow and Shams wasn't the one that like made the official announcement, do you think it still would have gone through? Because the way that the Mavs fans have hit the streets, this isn't funny, but it is funny. I sent you guys a clip this morning that some guy was talking to the news station. He goes, "I'm gonna kill myself. I'm gonna kill myself." And they were like, no. And he's like, "No, I'm gonna kill myself."
And then they're like, "Run that. That's the clip." Yeah, Mavs fans are furious. And
so mad.
And Lakers fans are almost like across the board happy. I will say the Lakers fan, I also told CJ last night, he just keeps asking me, he's like, "What do you think about this?" I go, "This trade has not negatively affected anyone more than me." Because you went from a 10 as a Lakers fan to now an 1,000, and we have some other things going on in life. But he was hesitant, and I think it was because his mind had been made up that AD was the future of the Lakers. Like, yes, LeBron is winding down, is still great, but like Anthony Davis is incredible. And in many ways has been the best player on that team for probably the last 2 years. And LeBron can still be LeBron, but if AD is out there, he does seem to be giving it his all, and he does not have the injuries anymore. But they go, "We're going to go even younger."
I agree with, I mean, obviously, like, who doesn't make that trade? Like, the Lakers win to me in every regard. And I feel like this whole campaign of like all these stories coming out that Luka drinks too much, he drinks a lot, he's always out drinking, he doesn't take care of himself, he doesn't exercise. I feel like that is a smear campaign by the Mavericks to say like, "Oh, see, fans, like, we did the right thing for you." And really what I think the Mavs are trying to do is tank. I think they're trying to tank so that they can move to Vegas. I think that's exactly what the ownership wants. They want to build a casino, and they want they want to force the city to do it. And they're using all these different, you know, all the leverage that they have to either tank or possibly be the team that gets to move to Vegas, because everybody wants to be there in the NBA. So who's it going to be?
And a lot of talking heads think this immediately puts them in title contention. So I'm just offering that there's the Mavs. I do think it's important to point out, because I said to CJ, I was like, why did Mark Cuban do this? He goes, "Mark Cuban is not the owner anymore. No. He sold, I think, so he can like run for political office. Please come and save us."
Hopefully.
And so the Mavericks are now owned, like the majority, by this woman, Miriam Adelson and Siobhan Adelson, and they're evil. Like,
why?
Evil.
Wait, why?
They gave $100 million to Trump.
Bye.
No, the Adelsons are always in that kind of dark money.
Yeah, like they're like
area.
Koch brothers, you know, like it's just like Republicans, or not even conservative, like psychos.
To me, only like obviously AD like makes the team very good.
Yeah.
Well, you also got to think of it. He's going to be fucking pissed. He's incredible.
He's having a great year already.
Bottom line. And now he's going to be like, "Oh, you're going to ship me away in the middle of the night, essentially."
In the middle of the night.
He's going to ball out, I bet.
And
if
like,
he stays healthy. Yeah.
People say, you know, Kyrie has been probably the most mocked athlete of the last 5 years. And
Yes.
all we've heard of Kyrie over the last 18 months is him staying behind and greeting native fans. Like, I watched a clip of him with like native girls of Texas crying as they were meeting him. Like, he is not doing anything insane. He's really staying out of the spotlight, except for to do kind things. Like, Kyrie seems on a really good path. He seems to like the team. I think has been playing well. Personally, I'm not a Luka fan. I do think he whines a lot. They do talk a lot about how he's out of shape and that he drinks a lot. And then I realized those are the knocks on me as well. So
Also, I think he's like the most in shape person to ever move to LA from Texas. So I'm totally fine with it. And I wish Anthony Davis luck in Texas. Like, so many comics have left LA and moved to Texas. And I'm like, here goes Anthony Davis. I hope you enjoy your edgy life.
But he didn't want to go. He got kicked out.
Also, like, it's Luka, he's not like a James Harden level. Like, is he really
drinking?
No,
Who
I mean,
cares?
like
I don't care.
an overweight. Like, he's not.
If he's
No.
drinking on the court, I don't
keep
care if
on
he looks like
watching.
Zion, like when he's hurt. You know what
Well,
I mean?
and
Like, he's still so good.
I keep
don't
on
care.
rewatching that video of the GM grabbing the beer out of his
Taking
hand.
the beer.
Now it feels even spicier. Like, if I was Luke, I'd be like, fuck out of here. I'm a grown-ass adult.
That GM is notoriously dumb. That GM is the guy that worked at Nike. So he used to work at Nike. And so him and the what's the guy's name? Salenka? Rob
Pelinka.
Yeah. So him and Rob knew each other when Rob was Kobe's agent and was making the deal with Nike. But Nico, like, is the guy that famously let Steph Curry walk from Nike, and Steph went to Under Armour. So they lost Steph Curry because of this guy. So you think that guy who let Steph Curry walk is now the guy that let Luka walk from the Mavs?
It's a lot of control they gave this man to do this. I will say my favorite pop culture reference. This was tweeted by the Mavs queen. She said, this is like Destiny's Child just traded Beyonce to TLC for Chili.
I love that.
So for those that are like, what does this actually mean? I think that encapsulates it. Yes. And like, Sarah, to your point that the NBA is a TV show and the ratings have been down. And I'm not saying like Adam Silver like made this happen, but like, this is good for the NBA overall, because it's like, what's going on? And especially when the Lakers are a storyline, that it's like the Cowboys being good and interesting. It just elevates.
For sure. When this first came out, I was just like, oh, okay. But I was just like, what is this? I haven't even really been watching basketball that much this season. Also because football's been so fun. But it just seems like the basketball, like mid-season, there's just so many games.
But a
It's
lot
my same complaint about baseball.
Oh my gosh. I just love that there's always something on at least.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the long seasons never bother me because I just always want there to be sports on. But I definitely agree with you, Megan. Like, obviously I think it's a TV show and it's good. It just, like they said that so many more trades are going to be happening before Thursday. So the trade deadline is Thursday at noon. And that the Warriors have been calling everybody. And I'm like, for who and for what? Like,
I know.
What does that mean? Like, who are the Warriors going to get?
Aren't they talking about Kevin Durant?
You could get Kevin Durant, but who knows if this just happened between the Lakers and the Mavs?
Yeah, who knows what else is like going on underneath and we don't even know.
The big rumor was that LeBron was going to go to the Warriors. Like, for it to be Anthony Davis who left it and not LeBron is shocking. Also, Jimmy Butler is the biggest piece available who does not want to play for his team. And he's just still sitting there. And then I saw Shakira at the Grammys the other night. And I'm like, can someone give me an update on if they're still dating? Because that was an iconic duo.
Jimmy Butler and Shakira?
Yeah, she was sitting courtside at Heat games.
She learned her lesson on athletes.
But Jimmy, I love Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler showed up like for media day at the beginning
Grammys.
with the Shakira hair.
Oh my God.
He always does his hair.
His hips don't lie. Okay, so we are LA residents. We did want to welcome Luka to Los Angeles. Los Angeles is a large, sprawling city. I think people around the country have kind of gotten a geography lesson about it over the last month because it's been in the news so much. But there's so many different places to live. Just between the three of us, I'm far east side. Sarah's in the valley. Rachel is west
Who knows where?
West of downtown. Like we're the Bermuda Triangle, the three of us. So we wanted to welcome Luka, who was like trying to do the LA sign. It was like
Did he do it backwards?
No, I mean you just saw how I did it. Like I
Oh my
messed
God,
it
I've
up
actually
too.
never done it before. I can't believe I got it right away.
So we wanted to give him some advice on some locations that we thought could be fun for him to live and explore. Sarah,
And also maybe some locations that stay away from. Like
Oh,
Luka,
okay.
don't go and live in Venice Beach. It's like it's not as
can't
cool
get-
as it sounds.
No, it's changed, Luka.
And you might step on a needle.
And none of your friends will get parking if they try to come and visit you. And,
Yeah.
But it is
It's
good
tech
if you're
bros.
dating. Is he single, right? So like,
No, I don't think so.
Oh, he would have been a hot commodity. He would have hit up Raya as soon as he stepped off the plane.
here's where I want.
He has a fiance. He has
was
a
gonna
fiance.
say, everybody that visits you in Venice has to be in an Uber, but if you're dating, like maybe that's good. I want Luka to live in West Hollywood next to the Comedy Store so that he hangs out there at night and drinks beer with all of us.
That sounds awesome. That sounds
That's where I
great.
want him to live.
Luka, just for reference, West Hollywood is so fun. It's definitely the most walkable neighborhood in LA. It is also boys' town. It is
and
like
everything smells like dog pee because everybody has dogs and
Cutie little
nobody has
dogs.
kids and
No.
the dogs pee everywhere.
My
Okay.
pitch is that for Luka to move to Culver City. First off, he's got the steps, the Culver Steps, famous little workout spot if he wants to get those, some movement in. Also, they have an Erewhon. If you are going to change your, diet and you want to be healthier, Erewhon is the spot. Also, it's my next door neighbor, so we could, I don't know, hang out.
Listen, they got air ones everywhere. Okay, girl. My
The
vote.
one
I'm
in
not
the
even.
Palisades didn't burn down.
Oh no, of course not. They saved it. I'm not even giving a neighborhood. I'm giving a specific location. I want Luka and all of his friends and family to rent every single penthouse at the Americana. Okay. So this is my thinking. Now, I don't know the geopolitical relationship between Armenia and Slovenia, but they both seem to like fancy cars. So the Americana has secure parking. You will see Bentleys, Rolls Royce, and you want to talk about walkable neighborhood. You walk out your front door and you're in a gorgeous mall. There's a fountain. There's a cheesecake factory with a Skinnylicious menu. NBA players love Cheesecake Factory. There's a Barnes & Noble. There's a Gucci. There's Chanel. You cross the street, there's a whole other mall. And so I'm not saying he lives there permanently. It was rumored that I think Cody Bellinger lived at the Americana.
That's hilarious.
It's safe and secure. And you're in Glendale. I think he takes over the top floor of the Americana penthouses for like the next year while he's building whatever mega mansion. And I think the Armenians welcome him with open arms.
He's going to have to walk by a Sprinkles vending machine every damn day of his life. I think that's torture.
To go to Din Tai Fung. And I think Din Tai Fung will let him be seated even if his whole party isn't there. I think that's the treatment he's going to be getting.
Wow, that is VIP.
That is. You think they would recognize Luka if he came in?
Yeah,
They
because
might be
Asian
big
people
Lakers
love
fans.
basketball. Oh yeah.
Yeah, they could be big Laker fans.
I'm using so many stereotypes. I'm like, Armenians love cars. Asian people love basketball.
Well, Armenians specifically love white Mercedes that like go fast.
Or like
I've lived
chrome-
next to an Armenian private high school, and like at the morning
gosh.
drop off, I'm like, how do you guys even not get in the same car? Like I would get confused and get into the wrong car all the time.
And like some of that, like I could see the Americana having like a little like Dallas, like nouveau riche elements to it, where it's just like, oh yeah, everyone has a chromed out G-Wagon. Really good food. Really good food.
Okay, so Americana's the clear winner, I guess. Luka,
No.
I know a real estate agent.
Don't live downtown, Luka.
Don't
live
live
don't live
most
downtown.
of the basketball players live in the East
Woodland
Bay
Hills?
because you can get on the 101. Like the
Oh my
practice
God.
facility for the Lakers is right there next to in El Segundo, basically, and then you just get on the 105 straight to downtown.
When Zach proposed in the Pacific Palisades to me, and he was this was when he used to work at this entertainment company that Paul George's podcast was at. And we were supposed to go out for dinner, and he was just like, we have to go up to the Pacific Palisades. We have to go to Paul George's house. And I think I even texted you guys. I was like, I'm fucking going to Paul George's house. And he's like, I have to drop off a hard drive. And I was just like, okay, dude. And so we're like winding up this. And then I realized as we get closer, we're like going to our little special spot. But that would have been a really nice place for Luka. Now I'm impressed. Let's talk about something else.
Playoff P. Did Playoff P's house not make it?
I have no idea. We didn't end up going to his house.
Oh, and you know what? He's not on the Clippers anymore. He's on the 76ers. So maybe he sold it.
Yeah.
But, all right. Okay.
Well,
moving on.
Let's talk about the Super Bowl. It is the almighty week that we have all been waiting for. Chiefs, Eagles. Sarah is just going to be praying that Sirianni loses. Are you voting?
No, actually,
She wants the Eagles.
You've changed your mind
to win. Yeah,
but you still hate Sirianni.
Yeah, like if he
two things can be
like
true.
If he can't be there at the game, like I'm not going to be upset. But I also think the Eagles are the underdog, but I just love Jalen Hurts and I love his like all-female representation team, and like I'm cheering for them and for Harry Connick Jr. to come out. That's it.
Okay, there's no way. There is absolutely no way.
I think there's a way.
I bet what if he comes to sports drink? You're gonna eat your fucking words, and then he's gonna get you.
Imagine that selfie. I'm like,
you get pregnant by Harry Connick Jr. And then we got Harry Connick III.
I know.
Oh, I'm a little
Zach.
jalopy.
That stays in New Orleans and just sings the blues.
Who do we think, and we'll get to the game, we'll break down the game, whatever. Who do we think is going to come out with Kendrick? I know that we have SZA already. People were saying when Kendrick won Grammy after Grammy after Grammy the other night, and everyone was singing A minor, which was hilarious. People were saying Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift has a song with Kendrick. Could you even imagine? I don't think she would.
I mean, she's already going to be there.
But but maybe she doesn't want to take away from the, she wants her boo to shine.
I mean, the craziest thing would be if Drake came out. Could you imagine? And he does
would
a minor.
Scream.
It'd be crazy. He came out. He comes out with a children's choir.
Oh my God. Imagine if Kendrick did that though. That would be so crazy.
I mean, the ballsiest thing would be for Drake to just show up and be there as a fan.
I feel like we've gotten away from the surprise cameos, and now it seems like they more like tell us, like with the SZA. Did Usher have any surprises? He was on roller skates.
Ludacris,
and Ludacris was a surprise.
Rihanna
I think
didn't have anybody. Remember?
Well, she was pregnant. She had a fetus. She said, "I have a."
Oh, yeah, that was the surprise guest.
Oh,
was such a great show.
It was incredible.
I kind of like not having anybody, but I think we also are expecting somebody to come out, all the time. So then, and then you kind of feel a little disappointed when they
Did The Weeknd have a surprise guest? That was pretty good halftime. I really thought it was classy that sorry, we're getting so off topic. I really thought that it was classy that Kendrick never mentioned Drake in any of his acceptance speeches, and everyone was kind of like waiting for him to do it, but he was just like, no, I made a good song. Oh, he's so cute, his little face.
I know. The Weeknd had nobody. That was COVID year, so maybe no one passed the test. Last year we had Usher, Alicia Keys, Jermaine Dupri, her, will.i.am, Lil Jon, and Ludacris. So I guess I'm an idiot. I'm like, no one came out, and it's like that's literally
Yeah, they had a lot
like,
of people on
so
roller
many
skates at
people.
one point.
yeah. So as of announced, it's just Kendrick and
If Harry
Sarah
Connick
right now.
comes out of the floor, everyone's gonna be like, "Who is that?" And Sarah's gonna be
No,
like,
they're not.
No,
everyone's gonna be like, "Who's this old dusty
we're
guy?"
gonna
Everyone's
go
gonna be like,
Hope Floats. Hope Float. I love Hope Floats. I reference
Such a
it
good movie.
all the time whenever I'm staying at. Oh, it's so. Whenever I'm at my parents' house, I go, "Oh, I'm in my Hope Floats era."
I don't know if I've seen it. I know
was
It's
one of
really good.
Sandra Bullock's best like hair movies. She had really like
that
her hair was
era
like
of
really good.
sandy hair,
Sandy hair.
practical magic.
And then she still lives in New Orleans, doesn't she?
Yeah, she still has a house there that's gorgeous.
What if Sandra Bullock comes out?
Oh my
Sandra Bullock, come to
gosh.
Sports Drink, please. Wow. Could you imagine?
Yes, I could imagine.
Okay, so hold on. I watched the Monday Night Media Night, which is like usually there's some like fun sound bites that come out of it. This is what I gathered. Maybe you guys caught something that I missed. But Travis thinking about retirement. He said that he's still got a lot of football left in the tank, but also he has a lot of exciting things going on in his life right now. I feel like he retires. If they win, he's done. If
Yeah,
they
for sure.
lose-
I think if they lose, he's done.
Oh, you
Yeah.
think either way?
I don't, from watching him, I don't actually know that he does have a lot of football left in the tank.
Yeah,
That's a
I-
great
And
point.
like, he's great. And like, we saw him catch, he had like a very important, I believe it was like third or fourth down conversion against the Bills. But he really does that loop-de-loo, and it's so slow, and they can't get him. So maybe he's fine. But this has been his worst season by like a lot.
And I think he broke the tight ends record. So I think, whether it was catches or yards, it was Tony Gonzalez's record. And maybe he was just sticking around to kind of break that record. And
yeah, I mean, like, really, what else does he have to do? He has so many other exciting things going on in his life. He's gonna like make movies, be a superstar, marry Taylor Swift, who apparently
be
makes
like
really
The
good
Rock.
Pop-Tarts. Maybe that's why he had a little bit of a struggle this season. It's because he was just down in homemade Pop-Tarts. Who
she
wouldn't
have the time? She was
who
on
wouldn't be
tour
doing
too.
that? Yeah. That makes me
Yeah, I
depressed
don't
to
know.
even
I
think about. You
think-
know that quote's like, you and Beyonce have the same amount of hours in the day. Fuck off.
Oh, I don't think we do.
Yeah, I actually think there's some hidden ones that she
Yeah,
gathers.
I clock at least 8 to 10 hours of sleep a day, and I know Beyonce's not doing that.
Yeah, I also don't have help.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't need it because I'm not as busy.
Here's what else. Saquon Barkley almost signed with the Bears.
They got to stop doing this to the Bears.
Because, yeah,
So
we've already heard
hurtful.
Tom Brady almost went to the Bears and Saquon Barkley almost went to the Bears. How brutal.
Poor Bears
What?
fans.
They're like, did Virginia just not answer her like rotary phone? Sorry, Virginia, I do love you. Saquon Barkley and his girlfriend got engaged too.
I know,
I
they're
thought
a really good-looking couple.
I thought they were fully betrothed. But they met, I believe she was a Zeta at Penn State. Like she's like a sorority girl, not a athlete. Just a blonde sorority girl from
Just a
Pennsylvania.
cutie.
I read a whole article about him this morning because he almost quit football after his freshman year in high school. And they were like, no, you're really fast. Like, you're not the best, but you're like really, you have explosive speed, And then he went to some summer camp, like football camp at Rutgers, and they signed him immediately. And he was so confused. He was like, I think they signed me, and I think it was a mistake, but I'm just going to like sign the paperwork so that they don't take it back. And then ended up getting an offer from Penn State and switched.
Wow.
Crazy.
That's cool. I love him.
Love him.
I know. I love
I
him.
hope he
So
gets
that's
like
the other
Super
thing.
Bowl MVP. Like he's just so cool.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes doesn't care about being the villain, okay? He's happy
not.
to be the villain. Also, Sarah, did you hear the soundbite that he wishes he was better at baseball? Does he do a Michael Jordan and maybe he just seems like maybe he's over football. Like maybe he gets tired of it.
No, he's saying that because his dad played professional baseball, I think. But like he is good at baseball, and like I'm sure he wishes he could do it all. And maybe part of that is like when you have 3 kids under the age of 4, you're like, Yeah, I'll go play other sport.
Forever. I'll go play the sport that takes me away the most. They must have like multiple night nurses, right?
I would
I don't
assume so.
know.
They're so rich. They're like crazy
Yeah.
rich.
But I mean, I know Brittany does spend a lot of time with the kids.
Oh,
like,
I'm sure.
so
But
much
I hope
time.
I hope she's like getting some sleep.
Yes, of course. Yeah. I think, yeah, they for sure have help. But yeah, I thought it was cool that he talked about his dad bod and,
He said he
you
was
know,
devastated about Luka
oh, I'm sure.
because he's a
I'm
huge
sure
Mavs
him and
fan.
Luca have pushed back some
Throwing
Coors
some
Lights
back.
because Patrick
Yeah.
loves him some Coors Light. And
I saw he tweeted like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah.
Saturday night.
I know.
Yeah, it was like
Like all of us.
this is sort of like a dead week. And the NBA said, no, no, no. We are here and we are taking the spotlight back.
Yeah. And then
NFL
Myles
thinks that they
Garrett
can
got it.
have a Christmas game. Well, guess what?
Guess what?
Just
Oh,
you
there's a
wait.
game in Australia. Guess what? Did you hear that the NFL is going to have a game? The Eagles are going to play in Australia next year.
For real?
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, down under. Huh?
Oh.
Yeah. They're going to go backwards. So
And-
Saquon's,
Jennifer Lopez.
Saquon's leap will look like it's going forward, but he's really, because it's the reverse down
And
in
they-
Australia.
they made the Eagles also play in Brazil. So
Brazil.
is the NFL sort of saying the Cowboys are not the team we're sending? Like they send Jacksonville because they're like, you don't really have any fans because you're in college football territory and you're like close. But like the Eagles are a really good franchise that has a ton of fans. I wonder why they keep sending them to these really far locations.
Yeah, that is a really good point. I'm sure it's just because like maybe the less games in Philadelphia, the less injuries to
Arrests.
NFL fandom that doesn't hit their pocketbook. They keep losing.
So we usually have a Super Bowl party. And we're going to be in DC this weekend, and people keep texting me like I'm not inviting them. My friend texted me. He goes, "Is the air still toxic? And are you having a Super Bowl party?" Like,
Aw. That must
and I'm
make you
like,
feel kind of good.
yeah. And I'm like, well, and I said to Chris on Sunday, I go, yeah, the Colts will be there. They'll be there in 3 years. And he goes, where? And I was like, the Super Bowl. And he laughed at me. Maybe the hardest anyone's ever laughed at me. I'm like,
Where?
I think 3 years seems the Commanders. Look at them. Anything's possible.
Yeah, we got to get some of those VR goggles over to the Colts
Anthony
facility.
Richardson.
You just need Jaden Daniels to sign with the Colts, and that's how they'll get to the Super Bowl.
Well, I still believe in my AR. I
know.
still believe in him.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Okay, so who are we taking? Who are we picking for the Super Bowl?
I want the Eagles to win.
Yes.
For almost the exact same reasons.
I think they will.
I really hope so.
Yeah, I want the Eagles to win, but I think the Chiefs will win.
It's just like they always win.
I don't. Here's the thing: Spagnuolo keeps stopping all the best running backs in the league with his defense. They're holding Derrick Henry to yards. They're holding Bijan Robinson. They're holding all these. Gibbs, everybody to really limited, like under 50 yards per game. So I think they hold Saquon, and I think Saquon is most of the Eagles' offense. And I just see the Chiefs winning. I hope the Eagles win, but
I have something to say.
Go ahead.
Our energy for this game is rock bottom. No interesting storylines to me whatsoever. If there is script writers somewhere writing the NFL, you need to fucking go back to the drawing board because this sucks. I've seen that the ticket sales for the Super Bowl famously priced through the roof are like at an all-time low because A, people are broke because of the State of the Union, but also because this game no one cares about.
Yeah. Well, and New Orleans has also had a pretty tough stretch. So sorry to bring that up.
How many Chiefs fans are actually flying in? Like, I'm sure the core, like Stone Street, like the rich ones are.
Sure.
But like, I would say there's got to be probably more Eagles fans that are
In
gonna
all
be.
the Super Bowls that I have gone to, which I'm blessed, which it has been plenty, it's never fans, which always sucks. It's always like the owner
Corporates.
of fucking
Mhm.
Sirius XM. Like that's who
Mhm.
you're sitting next
Mhm.
to. It's like Chudrick's like me. That's who's in the stands.
Right. Yeah.
I wish that they would like cap it or do something with ticket sales so that it can feel like a really, really cool environment of like
Yeah.
diehard fans watching this game.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
a
the way that
student
they
section,
Sure,
but it's
yeah.
just
Yeah.
but it's just fans that make under $150,000 a year.
The way
Yeah.
that they do in college with alumni,
Mhm.
like alumni gets like first dibs at tickets, at purchasing tickets.
Yeah.
But the NFL's like, if we can have
Yeah.
evil rich people, we're gonna have evil rich people in the
Yeah,
stands.
ticket sales are like still the week of like 2,500, like 3,000-ish per ticket. And like that's unheard of. Like usually it's going for like 10 grand a
I
ticket.
will
Mhm.
say, when it was in Indianapolis, tickets were $900.
Yeah, but that was how long ago?
I know, but I think it was also just
The
like, oh, we're
50s.
in a town that like
Yeah, how long ago was
has,
that?
we're in a town that everyone has $11 and is rich. So
But I think it just
I'm
goes to show that like people are like, okay,
no,
I
this
guess I'll
game
tune in.
is no, everyone I've talked to, the thing that I'm most excited about is the food. I think Super Bowl food is better than Thanksgiving food, Christmas food. Like Super Bowl to me is the number one eating holiday of the year. So I'm
Buffalo
excited.
chicken dip.
Oh, I can't wait.
Woo,
And I'm
woo,
going to be at
woo.
my brother's house pregnant. I'm going to make him do everything.
Wow.
Which
And
what you do anyway,
Yeah.
even when you're not
Sorry,
pregnant.
My
what's the
brother-
Don't act like
difference?
this is new.
my
Sorry.
brothers, and it won't be my brother, it'll be my sister-in-law who I love, and I'll help her because my brother will be, I'm busy, I'm working, so I'll help my sister-in-law. My sister-in-law will be in the kitchen going, what? I am excited for Kendrick. That's the number. And
Me
like,
too.
I thought his speech at the Grammys was so like beautiful and so LA. So it's like, I know it's in New Orleans, but like it's gonna have some real LA like shout outs and pieces to it. I hope.
Oh, for sure, especially with like the fires and like there's gonna be firefighters and there's gonna be like a whole, I bet he's gonna really lean into that and we're all gonna be crying.
I was like also I'm always really excited for the commercials, but I don't really like this trend where they're like releasing them
I
prior.
hate it.
I like
Yeah,
it.
I
the
hate
Billy
it.
Crystal one with Meg Ryan where they're redoing the scene,
Mm-hmm.
the
They're
famous
teasers. They're
diner
getting
scene.
more bang for their
But
buck.
they showed the whole thing. It wasn't even a teaser.
No,
I'm
they'll have like a bigger one day of. Usually that's what it is, like teaser trailers and then kaplow, the big one.
I'm
Again,
so sad I have to watch this on East Coast time.
Yeah. I'm
Like,
sad for you.
that's such a
That
bummer.
sucks.
Yeah,
No,
football
it's
people,
like-
how do you guys even handle this?
I don't
East Coast
know.
football?
We get to go
Starting
sleepy,
at
and I
1?
had to be sober. Ugh, just sober and tired. I'm gonna eat a lot, hopefully.
Really quick before we go, I really hope Myles Garrett goes somewhere fun. I really hope he does. I'm glad he dropped the bomb in like the beginning of
This
Pro Bowl
made
week
me
just to be like, hey, I'm a story
happy.
now too. Yeah, get out.
This made me so
Really-
happy because it's like owners that are shitty are never going to face consequences unless the players are like, hey, I want to win a Super Bowl. And then in bold, that's not going to happen here.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
so
I don't think I've ever seen that kind of shade thrown and
Right.
like the quiet part said out loud. And
in bold.
and it always takes somebody like this. Like this is what I'm talking about with CTE and like or like all these conditions, like facilities. Like it takes loud, effective,
Yep.
important players in their prime to speak up and say something.
I think the
And-
dominoes are going to fall because if you're looking around, if you're like Nick Chubb,
Yeah.
if you're looking around your team and all of a sudden you're going to be like, oh, like Browns fans, get ready to be the worst you've ever been. Like this is going to be so delicious for me.
Well,
And I
it's
like
all-
something needs to fucking change. Like there needs to be change inside. Like take fucking Dan Snyder their asses.
Yeah.
Get them out.
This is also an NBA move. NBA players have the control and have for now a decade plus been going, I don't want to play here anymore. And I think some fans would say they would have too much control, and NFL players have much less. And so Myles Garrett is doing an NBA move by going, I don't want to play here. And I think there's a chance you may see Max Crosby's. Like, I don't think it's just going to be a Browns thing. I think there's going to be some top players on other stinky teams. Maybe not Max Crosby. Maybe they'll turn it around. But like, I think this could be a trend that we start seeing more and more in the NFL. And they are putting their bodies and lives on the line.
Yeah, totally.
If they don't like you, let them go elsewhere.
But also, like with the Browns, the last 5 years, you've had two of the most exciting players asked to leave your team in Baker Mayfield and now Myles Garrett. That's crazy. Do you guys not think that you should change some things?
Also, just like maybe like also, I think it's also for Myles Garrett, you go like, well, who's even going to be our quarterback next year? Because Deshaun just got re-injured. So
yeah, and Jameis Winston at media night was going around being like, can anyone hire me? Like, that was so
are you guys
embarrassing.
looking for a job? I can't even imagine on media night being like, are you guys hiring?
Thank
So
God
weird.
the Cavs are good. Just watch your sweetie little Cavs because they are good. And the East is semi-intact right now because that insane trade didn't impact at all. So the Celtics and the Cavs and maybe the Knicks, and I hope my Pacers are sitting going, this doesn't even involve us.
Well, I'm just hoping Myles Garrett comes to Atlanta or he goes to the Commanders. I think that's a good spot. And
Lions.
Lions could use
Come on.
him, yeah. But I don't know. Yeah, I feel like the Raiders could get him to pair with Crosby. It just depends on who their quarterback is going to be. And if I'm Myles Garrett, I wait. But I think Houston, the Texans, is probably where he could.
Oh God, he's gonna kill Anthony Richardson.
I root for him. Yeah, Anthony Richardson's gonna be the new tombstone on Myles Garrett's front lawn come Halloween.
Well, at least Anthony Richardson's mobile. He'll run away. If it's Matt Ryan, who's our backup? Matt Ryan. Flat. You're gonna have Myles Garrett prints on his face.
Yeah. I'm just realizing, Megan, are you wearing
Joe Flacco? Thank you.
Meg, are you wearing a watermelon shirt?
Yeah, I am wearing a watermelon shirt. It's my favorite, and people think it's a political statement. I'm like, oh no, I've had this for like 8 years.
Yeah, Jennifer Grey carried a watermelon. I'm wearing one.
I was gonna stand up all the way, but I don't have a bra on, and I got those big old pregnant hoots right now.
Same.
What a podcast. We have been through a lot together last hour.
Also, I wrote for the Critics' Choice Awards, and it airs on Friday on E. Chelsea Handler is hosting. It's really fun. So if you guys are looking for something fun to watch on Friday, I got a lot of jokes in there, baby.
Is there a lot of sports stuff?
No, it is the Critics' Choice Awards. I definitely pitched like a Super Bowl joke at one point, and everyone just looked at me like, Megan, no one knows what's going on. But it's a really fun show, and I love everyone that I work with. Like, great crew.
That's so fun. Okay, guys. Well, we will be back next week to recap the damn Super Bowl.
And who knows what else?
Who knows?
Very iconic.
Later.